gonna sit here and wait a second. There's my kitties. Right back there. See ya. My new calendar for 2020. It's an Avengers calendar. It's actually pretty cool. Anyway, I ain't done one of these in a minute. I kind of wanted to take a back seat for a second and kind of take a look at things. But today, I want to talk about addictions. Some people might hear that and be like, ooh, why would you want to talk about that? Or, ooh, that's a tender topic. Or, hey, ooh, that's a good one. Well, I'm picking it for all the right reasons. Well, at least for all the reasons. Most of them being because addictions are a lot of different things. Hey, Camille, I love the fact that you're one of the first ones to chime in. It really does make me feel good. It's kind of like we get to connect in a way. But anyway, here we go. So addiction. So addiction is many different things. I mean, you can have addiction to cats, animals, reptiles. Hell, they have a whole show for it called, well, it used to be running. I don't know if it runs. I don't think there's any new ones. Called Fatal Attraction. It was actually people who were obsessed with things that could kill them. Whether it be lions, tigers, bears, snakes, reptiles of any sort. It's amazing actually the thing to sit down and think about when I was watching these shows how many times tigers pop up. But anyway, that's that's just a little rant. But I mean, you can even have addictions to hell, we can have addictions to a lifestyle even. Yes, weird addictions. Weird addictions. I'm not gonna sit here and preach on weird addictions because I don't have one. Well, we all have our vices. In other words, too. Um, but then you can sit down and you can find a hypocrite. You can always find a nice, lovely hypocrite when it comes to addictions. You can always find that one person sitting there with a cup of coffee and a cigarette in their mouth talking about that little crackhead down the street. But really, what makes that any different? Because you're sitting there smoking a cigarette which contains nicotine and other harmful other harmful chemicals. And you're also taking in caffeine, which is another quote unquote drug because it is a mind altering substance. Caffeine, mind you, only talking about caffeine, which is legal in most of our soft drinks, and of course energy drinks, which I have fell victim to those before once or twice in my life. Hell, I actually had a mental breakdown once because I had 4 energy drinks in an hour. But I was also working a 17-hour shift back to back. Anyway, so I mean, we all succumb to it. You know, I chewed, dipped, and smoked tobacco for years. You know, I mean, some people are addicted to like working out, like obsessed with it. Some people are, well, I almost crossed the line right there. We're gonna leave that one alone because it's not really an addiction. Um, but you can have all kinds of different stuff. You can do all kinds of different addictions. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Hoarding can be considered an addiction. Actually, hoarding. That's a whole other weird one in itself that I really don't fully understand. Um, Hell, someone could have a. I could imagine there's be addiction for most things in life. People wanting to take it to the extreme. Um, Hell, well, it's like extreme parenting, but that's a whole other topic for a whole another day. So, hell, I could even consider motorcyclists an addiction, or owning, or riding, or being on it. I know people who have had addictions to heroin and meth and coke, and the only other way they found peace was on a motorcycle. So I mean, that could either be an addiction or a way to cure said addiction. You know, but when most people think of addiction, they think about drugs. Now, this is something we've all fallen into at some point or another, whether legal or illegal. Me, I've crossed the line on both ends of the lifestyle. I have probably about about 20 years worth of knowledge on it, whether seeing it, doing it, being a part of it, witnessing it. I mean, I've watched a beautiful woman turn into a dope hoe in a month. You know, and I've seen horrible things happen to people, because it's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. That is the truth. It is. It really is all fun and games until somebody gets hurt. Well, where do you draw the line with that? I mean, you have alcohol that kills millions of people a year, but yet it's legal. It's okay to go out from. I could go out right now. Right now. I could go out right now and get shit faced, and it's okay. Well, within parameters. You know, I could also go out and get caffeine. I gotta get cigarettes. I could go out and get food. People are addicted to food. That's a weird. Look. I love to eat. I'm over 300 pounds. I ain't gonna lie. I love to fucking chow down. Okay, I made some bang ass chicken, broccoli, and mashed taters. Yeah, I said taters. Damn it. But you know, some people are addicted to food, and it's not even the fact that it's good food. They're just addicted to eating it. You know, they want to find reasons and things like that. You know, and then that's where you come up with that. You know, my 600-pound life and stuff like that. And some of those people do just have regular eating disorders. You know, either they can't stop, they don't know when they're full. It's actually a chemical thing within the brain. So there are healthier addictions, but you know what? Those aren't the fun ones to talk about, Camilla. But yes, addiction to skating, bowling, running, eating healthy, exercising, lifting weights. Hell, there's even addictions to music and musical instruments and things like that. I'm sure they're out there. You know, there's even addictions to when it comes to the paranormal. People who just have to seek that knowledge, and it becomes an obsession. You know, that's where things can cross a line between addictions and obsessions. Because it's all kind of the same thing if you think about it. You know, it's just putting a different, I can't think of the word, putting a different, anyway, to it. But it's kind of all the same thing if you think about it. Again, I'm just sitting here talking because really my little cousin's the only one on here. But, you know, when you talk about the groovy ones, you know, like hallucinogens, there's not really a whole lot of addictive chemicals within hallucinogens. They're just really fun, but they can turn on you really quick. And that's what you don't want. You don't want it to turn on you, but they can. So it's wise just not to do them. Stay away from the speed. Stay away from the other shit. Just stay straight. Because to be honest, if you want to get high, eat you some candy. Go ahead and eat some chocolate. It's safer. You know, like right now, me, I'm addicted to movies. Certain movies are my addiction. I love them. I watch them. I learn every aspect about them. That is something that I do. I'm obsessed with. Hey, Lonnie. You know? Some people are, like for me, Constantine. The reason I bring this up is Constantine. You see? I'm watching it. Okay? Love it. Don't know why. Probably because the never-ending battle of good and evil. But again, I'm just ranting. So, but when we play on addiction, it's fun. For some people. For some it's not, because they take it too seriously. But again, I'm just talking. So, I'm just having a conversation. Lonnie, why don't you chime in here? You know, because we even have pills. There are pills that you can get addicted to that are worse than most illegal drugs, to be honest. And all they are synthetics. You know what I mean? So, but come on, even one of the most Schedule One narcotic that's around that everybody knows and loves, marijuana, but nobody wants to sit down and be like, hey, it doesn't really do anything bad for you. But it's still there. So, for that reason, you shouldn't do it. But honestly, leave it up to you. So, that was Megan in the background. So, but like I said, there's just many things, and like I said, I'm just touching on some bases. I'm not really going to get too into this tonight. Honestly, this is probably going to be a short video, because honestly, I want to watch Constantine. Again, I'm addicted to this movie. I love this movie. I know everything about this movie. I'm rehearsing it in my brain as I'm talking to you guys. You know, that's my weirdo. I'm a weirdo like that. We all have our little quirks. Embrace some of them, but when it comes to the illegal substances, please leave them alone, because most of them are illegal for a great reason. So, leave it be. Is that Jessica Giant in there? I think that is. Anyway, she didn't pop up yet. You know. But anyway, there she is. Hi, Jessica. We're talking about addictions. Care to join in? I'm not saying that you've ever had any. I'm just saying. You know, do you have something you'd like to say about it? But you know what? There's a cool thing out right now. It's called CBD, and I love CBD because it's great. It takes away pain and everything else, but again, there's no addictive substance to it. So, well, what are you doing? Yeah? What happened to your kid's dad? What happened? Did he get, was it heroin? I'm sorry, I shouldn't ask that question. That's wrong of me to ask that question. So, but, you know, that sucks. You know. I get caught on this movie. The lead singer Bush is in here. And he's the bad guy. And he does a great job. And it sucks because I was actually there, Jessica, at one point, believe it or not, in 2015. I think it was 15. Yeah, 15, 16, and 17. I actually, for those 3 years, I was actually doing that myself. Luckily, I recovered and gained my fat cheeks back. You know, there's pictures of me out there where I didn't even know it was me. So, I've been down that road, and it does suck. Nothing fun about it at all. Of course, you don't know it in the time because your mind's so fucked up that you don't know if you're having fun or not. So, sorry. Again, I'm distracted. I'm watching Constantine. So, but, again, there's millions out there that are addicted to one substance or another. It's just really fun to sit here and think about it. When you think about some of the fun ones, some of the bad ones, some of the ones we really enjoy doing. Video games. Holy shit, video games. You want to talk about some addicting, dumb fucking shit. Again, one that I've done. I can't tell you how many hours I've plugged into a fucking Xbox. I've owned 2 of them for multiple years. I'm on my second one right now, and I'm just looking at getting another one. But I think I'm going to go to PlayStation. Why? I don't know, just because I can. But what is this? No, I actually, to go back on the little darker side of life with Camilla, I was like, so Camilla, I actually restore a few. There's been 2 or 3 times in my life, because I started smoking weed when I was 13. There was quite a few times where I introduced 4 people to marijuana. From, I think the last person was in my mid-20s, but the second person I ever introduced, I I let him smoke a joint with me in my car before school. 3 weeks later, this man was snorting Roxy's in the bathroom. You want to talk about a mind fuck? Because at that point, I hadn't even gone that far yet. I was just, I was a pothead. So, I mean, some people can handle it, some people can't. Opium, raw opium, or the opioids that now people can get their hands on through the medical field. Did you know that we're actually the only country in the world that actually commercializes pharmaceuticals? Did you know that? So we're actually, what's the word I'm looking for? We are commercializing. There we go. Sorry, it took me a minute to get that word up. We are commercializing the drug industry. So even though you have drug pushers on the street getting arrested every day, you have drug companies who are synthesizing and making synthetic drugs of the same caliber, but that's in K. Like my Uncle Randy. I've he's old and retired now. Well, he's not old, but he's retired. So I don't think me talking about our past is gonna be a big thing. But I've smoked weed and I've done other things with my Uncle Randy before. But the worst thing that I know he ever had to go through, and it's something that he did talk to me once about, is the fact that he did get addicted to prescription painkillers due to the fact that when he went down on his motorcycle, he just, that's what they fed him. My uncle had a horrible accident in the early 2000s. To where it was massive leg surgery, had to be done, skin grafts, the whole 9 yards. And they fed him pain pills and got him addicted. And then from what I understand, he still struggles with it today a little bit. Not so much anymore. He's actually quite alright. But then, like, for me, I've done it. My first wedding, when I was at home, my mom had them little football-shaped Xanax. I took 10 of those things. And 3 days later, I remembered what happens. But I didn't remember I was gone for 3 days. Like, why would I do that? It's just so weird. Now that I sit back and think about it. But, sorry. Excuse me. But I'm trying to make this last at least another 10 minutes. Hey, what's going on? So, but yeah, I mean, please, if you know people that are addicted to substance, there are ways to help them without getting them in actual jail time. Sometimes that's the only way. I know a few people that said jail time was the best thing that ever happened to them. Sometimes it doesn't change anything. Sometimes a good talking to is all they need. Like me, luckily for me, I had those moments of clarity within my moments, and I was able to come through and be like, hey, you are fucking up. And I was able to pull through it. How on some of them, I have no idea because of how deep I was. But again, addiction is a fickle thing. So, next time you sit down and you think you need a cigarette, that's an addiction. That's something you need to fix. You know, or the next time you sit down and want coffee or an energy drink, that's your addiction kicking into your brain because your brain is telling yourself that you need that chemical reaction. You know, even and again, not all the drugs are addicting. Not it the class the class I think what the classification. Let me see. I gotta think if I can get it right. The classification of a drug is something that will either mentally or physically alter your state. I believe it's something like that, and so there's a lot of things that can do that. You know, where you can become entranced or a sense of relaxation. You know, because really that's all it is. It's that moment where you sink, you just and you fall into it. It's a very it is seductive, but it's something that we need to watch out for. I mean, there are people out there that go crazy for this shit, especially caffeine. Like caffeine's a bad one. Like I put caffeine up there with nicotine and shit. No, it really ain't killed a whole lot of people. No, it really hasn't. But at the same time, it's still one of those things. You have people out there that seek it out, that get headaches if they don't have it. It's almost like a heroin addict who needs their fix. To me, it's funny, you know. And sometimes I'm even that way. Sometimes I'll start getting a headache, and I know I need some caffeine. You know, it's horrible to say it that way, but it's true. It's true. So just think about it. Play with your day, and just see how many things that you could label in the addiction category that you might do. You might not actually be addicted to, but things that are possibly there. You know, okay, well, when I get up in the morning, what do? I make a pot of coffee. You know, I have to drink my coffee because that's what I do. You know, that's my addiction. My caffeine. My favorite. It has to be community. Community comes from Louisiana. It's the only thing I like. It's the only thing I like to drink. Now, I drink other stuff, yes, but I don't like to drink other stuff. I like my community coffee. Cafe style. It's a medium dark. You know, what's your morning addiction? You gotta get that OJ, that morning paper. You just don't feel right without it. But then think about it. Do you wake up and the first thing you gotta do is get a hit of a cigarette? You don't need that. Go get you some caffeine. I mean, yeah, it's gonna fuck you up a little bit, but it'll be okay. At least so they say. You know. But hell, they say a lot of things these days. But anyway, this is all fun. I'm still addicted to my movie. Like I said, Constantine has been what I've been watching. Addiction in all its fun and strange, weird, and disastrous forms is the topic of tonight's session. You know, your addiction to. You could be addicted to climbing things. I mean, you'd be one of them weird mountain climbing people acting like billy goats out there with nothing on your back but your own ass climbing up shit. You know, that's weird to me. But that's cool to you. That's an adrenaline rush. You know, you could be addicted to skydiving because it's a rush. You gotta get that rush. Sports cars. Ooh. Ain't nothing sexier than a fucking sports car whizzing by you. Same with sports bikes, like I said. Being a rider myself, I feel I'm addicted to the seat because that's the only time I feel at peace is when I'm on two wheels. You know, some people might classify that as addiction. Again, hoarding in all that fashion, even hoarding cats, dogs, animals. Again, I love talking about this stuff because it's weird. And it's things we have to think about. Because, you know, while we're sitting here wondering how bad our country is and things like that, we're not actually sitting down thinking about the underlying reasons. We're just pointing fingers. And, you know, and addiction in any of its forms can be one of those reasons why we're going downhill. So, but anyway, we're about 2 minutes, so this is going to be about a 30-minute video. I'm a little bit off, not quite 30 minutes, but I just wanted to put that out there today, that watch out what you do, check it, check your addictions, check your vices, check your friends, keep everybody safe, basically it. Look out for each other, because there could be somebody that you know that could be struggling with it privately, and you would never know. You know, people who spend like $60,000 a year on prescription drugs just to get high, functioning, semi-functioning. Hell, most of your restaurant people. I ain't never worked in a restaurant that didn't have a good drug connect in one form or another. Believe it. But anyway, that's where I'm going to leave it. Y'all have a great night. I'm going to be coming with new stuff. Again, I'm trying to get some raw situations to come up with. This one, I didn't want to focus on just one aspect of addiction because there was so many. You know, besides the obvious, when you think about your harder stuff like your cocaine, your barbiturates, your uppers, your downers, your hallucinogens, you know, those things. I don't want to sit here and say they're good in small doses because I don't want to give anybody the wrong impression. Nor do I want to be that one person that goes on experiments in the next couple of days and say, hey, look, that dude Dale said he was okay. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying I did it. It was bad. I don't recommend it. I'm not going to go into detail because some of the things I'm embarrassed about, but I've been there. It's not cool. Don't do it. If you get put in a situation to do something illegal, as far as your drug goes, please, I hope you're smart enough not to do it. You know, as far as your other stuff, and that goes with alcohol, that goes with cigarettes. You know, stay away from that shit. There's no reason to have it. There's no reason to get addicted to it. Because it can kill. And it will. You know? Caffeine can alter certain states and certain aspects of your mind and life too. But it doesn't actually hurt you. So, I mean, it's another one of those tolerable things. But, either way, good night, one love, peace out to everybody, God bless. Look out for your neighbors, look out for your loved ones, and let's open our mind to another side that we may not be normally open to broaden our minds and our horizon, to grow as humans. Later.